Contests are a great form of engagement on social media, and we're going to do a little exercise where you will actually create a contest for the class. This is from a posting by Baer, a guy I follow, on some of the ideas for really creating a good social media contest. The first thing you need to decide is which of the social media channels are you going to use. Facebook is quite good for this. Instagram and Twitter, there's many contests on those formats, and there are others as well. And you can actually use multiple channels if you want. The thing that you have to remember is that contests take a lot of time and effort. So if you're going to do a cross-platform contest, then that means you have more work to do, which can be good, but just remember when you commit your time. First thing is, how do you get into a contest? The simplest way is a sweepstakes, which is nothing specific required. You just basically reply, for example. More sophisticated is a connection, and that would be like or follow. This would be kind of at the page level. So if somebody likes your page or follows your Twitter account or your Instagram account. A little more active is where you like the particular piece of content, and with Facebook this would be like a particular post. So to get into the contest, you would like that particular post. Sharing is another way of entering a contest. If you share that content, you're in the contest. You can also set up polls or surveys, and you can require people take the poll when you're entered into the contest. And finally, kind of at the highest level is where you're asking your users to develop some content that they'll actually upload to the contest, and that gets them in. And that could be as simple as submitting a photograph. The more you ask your audience to do, the fewer as a percentage of your audience will actually do it. However, younger people tend to be more comfortable with doing this and even with creating content. Very important that you come up with a good name for your contest. Keep it short. Long names eat up valuable characters, not just in Twitter, but in social media ads as well. In terms of themes, are you doing something that has some seasonality to it? If your product line relates to fishing, for example, are you timing it for the season where people are going to be buying fishing equipment from you? So that's the kind of thing you're going to be thinking about in terms of your theme. And again, naming the contest is really important. The best way to do the timeline is to actually work backwards from when you're going to end your contest and announce the winners. If you're going to have some judging involved, you have to leave some time for that towards the end. You have to set when your entries begin and when they end. And you have to tie this whole timeline of the contest in with your general social media promotion. And you're going to develop some stuff that will specifically promote the contest. Rules, very important that you know that rules are what people go by. And it can also really be a legal issue. If you're in a corporate environment, you may need to actually develop some kind of a bit more sophisticated plan before they will approve your idea. There are some boilerplate sources for the language of contests. You can go out and find them. But remember that you may have your rules, but whatever channel you're operating on may have rules as well. Again, Facebook has a pretty robust contest system within it, and that spells out all the rules for them, and they can be your rules as well. Prizes. Of course, you really want to have a prize that ties back to your company or your organization. And you're really trying to attract a particular kind of person. You want people that are genuinely interested in what you do, and not just people that like to join contests. Remember, if you've got a prize, try to make it consistent with what your organization or business does. So if you're selling fishing gear, don't give away an iPad. Graphics are critical in social media. We say this over and over. Your contest may be enhanced by a special profile image, cover, logos, etc. You may integrate the contest with your broader website, and that could mean special landing pages and emails and other promotional things on that side of it, as well as what you're doing within the social media channels. If you've got a design group or team or person that you're going to work with, give them plenty of time, let them know what it's all about, so that they will create something that really works for you. Once you've got the contest going, you really can think of it like a community. You've got people that are participating in your contest, and they've done your whatever you required to get them into the contest, but they may have some questions, so you really need to be ready with answers, and you have to know who will be answering those questions that come from your users. If you're thinking about a robust contest, it really does take a lot of time. You may even consider bringing somebody on specifically to run the contest so that your regular people are not overburdened. There are some software sources that are out there that are specific to contests, and here's a list of some of them that Baer has put out, but I'm not particularly aware of any of them, nor have I actually used them, so I'm just telling you they're there. Let's look at some successful contests. A couple of them from bigger companies. Macys, of course, is this huge department store, and they often run contests, particularly on their Facebook page. And this is one that really had to do with a particular clothing line for fitness clothing. And they tied it into this whole thing of weekly fitness tips. To enter the contest, people would just have to like the page that they created for this fitness clothing line contest. And the prize was a $1,000 gift card to buy that type of clothing. So this is what it looked like for them. And you can see in the design up here, right up here, this is what you want them to do. If they click on that like, they're in the contest. The waffle people, Eggo, made by Kellogg's, huge company. And they developed this 2-part Facebook contest, the Great Eggo Waffle Off. Then the first part was people created content, in other words, recipes, that they submitted using Eggo waffles. The second part, which is a different way of engaging more people, because remember, the more complex it is, the less percentage of people will participate. So once they gathered recipes, then the second part was they put the recipes out there and they let fans vote for their favorite recipe. So that's a different form of engagement and a broader audience. The winner got $5,000. So this is what it looked like. And this is once they got the submissions, and this is the voting page. So each one of these is a separate recipe, and then you click on the one you like to vote. A smaller company that makes vegan cookies did a selfie photo contest, and the idea was to take a selfie photo of people with their cookies. And they submitted them using a particular hashtag or handle to the company's Instagram account. So this was used strictly on Instagram. And the winners got a branded t-shirt. And this is the shirt, but this is also how they created it. And when you use this handle right here, tag a photo and your cookie like this, then you're in the contest. It's a drawing to win a shirt. Another company is a locally sourced whole food type restaurant company, and they did a photo contest also on Instagram. And again, they had to be tagged, and again, it's a shirt. So this is their Instagram post, and tag your photo with TG Tender Grain Pick, and we'll send a t-shirt every week. So each week they pick one out. So this is kind of a way of doing it where the contest keeps running on and on. So these are some ideas about contests, and you just read the instructions about how we're going to do our particular assignment.